So everyone and their mom talks about the scheme fit for potential offensive linemen for the Minnesota Vikings. But as we've outlined, the running game is half of the offense, ideally. Outside zone, a fraction of the run game. What about dudes who can just hold up in one-on-one spots? What about that anchor? I want offensive linemen to be thick. I want that ass. So stop writing off really good offensive line prospects just because they don't check all the boxes. Well, he fails to get second level in outside zone. Also, how are we going to pull him? Please. For the last couple of drafts, really good offensive linemen like Elton Jenkins coming out of Mississippi State, or Damian Lewis from LSU, or Michael Onwenu from Michigan potentially fell through the cracks because not a scheme fit. Nah. I do miss the days of David Dixon and Phil Lodeholt. Hey, what's your scheme? Run you the F over. That is our scheme. So here are 5 non-scheme fit guards for the Minnesota Vikings. So taking off the table guys like Wyatt Davis, no matter what, Elijah Vera Tucker, Rashawn Slater, etc., who do check some of those boxes, as well as Quinn Mainers, the pride of UW Whitewater. We're going to actually have his own video a little bit later on, so that's why he's not on the list. But numero 1, Trey Smith. Tennessee, come on, baby, Rocky Top, 21 years young, senior, 6'5 and a half, 331. Former 5-star recruit from Jackson, Tennessee, all-world, signed up with the Orange, 4-year starter, 2-time first-team All-SEC. Last 2 years, been working at left guard, been just an absolute road grader in the run game. Pass protection's been on point. He's only allowed 17 pressures and 1 sack over the last 2 seasons. Uno. Bomb. Of course, medical issue, does have blood clots in the lungs that forced him to miss time in 2018. That seems to be under control. He played 2 full seasons, 2019, 2020. Having himself a nice Senior Bowl week in practices, showing up and showing out, a couple of pancake breakfasts, as it were. So a name to keep an eye on in day 2. Number 2, one of my favorite offensive linemen in the draft, not gonna lie. So Landon Dickerson, 6'6", 326, redshirt senior, former 4-star recruit from Hudson, North Carolina. Spent his first 3 seasons at Florida State. Actually blocked for Dalvin as a guard in 2016. Spent 3 sort of injury-riddled seasons in Tallahassee. Durability is a concern, but transferred to Alabama in 2019. Spent the last 2 years as a starter and an absolute leader on that offensive line because, it's really tough to transfer into a school like Alabama full of 4 and 5-star recruits, and you're just going to come in and be their leader right away. It's really amazing, and it speaks to the gravitas of Landon Dickerson. 2020, he was PFF's number 2 graded center at 91.3. Only Iowa's Tyler Linderbaum was higher. Only 5 pressures and 1 sack allowed all season as that Tide offense rolled along with Mac Jones, Devontae, Najee Harris, and yes, a ton of talent up front surrounding him as well, sure. But every single week, you're going up against NFL caliber nose tackles, NFL caliber 3-techs, and then you're just still doing work. Also posted a run blocking grade of 92.8, the best. Numero uno in NCAA. Did have a knee injury in the SEC title game against Florida, and also his injury opened up a spot for Quinn Mainers, Whitewater prospect at the Senior Bowl, which is kind of interesting. But what was great is that, again, in the Ohio State game, he went out for the coin toss in full uniform and then got in at the end in kneel downs. Plus, you saw how teammates just reacted to him getting in. It was beautiful, man. Great teammate, great leader, great attitude, has center and guard flexibility, and I think that he may tumble because of the knee issue, but he's going to be good to go, man. I adore him. I just do as a day 2 selection. Next up, non-scheme fit guard for the Vikings, number 3, Ben Cleveland out of Georgia. That's right, Cleveland. It's a Cleveland show all up in here. Move Ezra over to left guard. Put Ben Cleveland at right guard. Or hell, move Ezra left tackle. I don't care. But Ben Cleveland, 6'6", 354, redshirt senior. Now, there are guys who wear 350 pounds bad, but Ben Cleveland is a guy who wears 350 pounds good. How do you have no gut at 350? It's crazy. But he's been a 4-year starter at right guard for the Bulldogs, and over the past 3 seasons, has not allowed a sack. He hasn't allowed a sack since his redshirt freshman year. How insane is that? 2020, 78.8 PFF grade, only allowed 6 pressures and 0 sacks. Nasty attitude, violent hands, finish blocks, and plays low despite his height. Did get dinged up at the Senior Bowl, but has the anchor and attitude, which makes him extremely interesting as a mid-round selection. Next up, Non-ski fit guard number 4 for the Minnesota Vikings, David Moore, coming out of Grambling, baby. I like it. First, HBCU Senior Bowl invite, 6'1.5" and tree fitty. Now, dude is a bowling ball. Given his height, given his girth, also him wearing number 60 certainly doesn't help either. But he dominated his level of competition. He absolutely did. Helping himself a ton at the Senior Bowl this week, because that's a big question coming up from an HBCU school, and now he's bumping onions with guys from the SEC, from the Big Ten, and he's looking great, helping himself a ton. Absolute alpha, gets after it, buries dudes, gets low, stays low, is going to win the leverage game because of his height. You do question about arm length as well as the big jump in competition. Pass sets and balance need some refinement as well, but taking a late round flyer on this absolute monster with a great anchor. I mean, maybe he goes as high as the 4th round, but frankly, luckily the Vikings have 4 4th-round picks. There you go. Lastly, non-scheme fit guard number 5 for the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, the absolute numero uno guy, Deonte Brown, coming out of Alabama, 6'3", 364, redshirt senior. Now, I know that he became a meme during the college football playoffs, but he really is an intriguing NFL prospect. Moves extremely well for a guy his size. A near perfect anchor. You are not going to back him down. Stays low and drives in the run game, and would easily, run behind his ass. He'll pick up that 4th and inches up in Seattle. You'll be good to go there. Also has been working at center some at this week at the Senior Bowl. Landon Dickerson helping him out quite a bit. Another sign that Landon Dickerson is a great teammate. Now, again, I do love me some Ezra Cleveland, except he's at left tackle, unless he get Christian Darrisaw. But I do miss the days of just having 2 ginormous guards who can hold their own in pass blocking situations, who can run over dudes in the run game. And I know, what about outside zone? What about this? What about that? Well, guess what? All these guys do okay. They're not going to be liabilities in the outside zone game. Plus, cater to your talent, or run a lot more power, run a lot more counter Trey in this situation. So just run dudes over and get behind that ass, pick up that 4th and 1, and let's go. Let's go. I mean, can we do that? Vikings offensive line will be back to being an asset if you draft some offensive linemen with assets. Thick. Let's go. Let's go get some. But what are your thoughts? 5 non-scheme fit offensive linemen for the Minnesota Vikings. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post some of them up. But until next time, Skull Production Value.